So I'm in the law library, and my homeboy Rondo, he like, hey Dante, man, you got a new celly, bro. I'm like, what? He like, yeah, you got a new celly. So I get up and I hurry up and get up out of there, right? Because when you got a new celly, first of all, you got to know who's coming in your cell. I don't know if this a gang member. I don't know if this a dude that got bad charges. I don't know if this a gorilla coming up in here. I don't know if it's a booty bandit coming up in here. I don't know. So I don't know if it's a thief coming up in here. All I know is I need to get to my cell immediately, right? So I hurry up and close my book up, put it on the shelf, and I dart up out of there, right? I get to the unit. Now, my cell is on the second tier, right? So I get up there in the unit, I bail upstairs, and I get to my cell. When I get to my cell, I'm looking for the guy. I don't see it. I see that he got his bags over here, right? But I don't see him. So I'm scratching my head because that's not normal for a guy that just came, in the cell to be not there, like in this first initial state. So I'm standing at the cell, like, where this dude at? And then I see him. I see him. He comes from the other side of the bunk bed, right? Now you said, hold on, Dante. What you mean you just now seeing him? So the guy that I'm locked up with, his name is Mighty Mouse. This dude from Detroit, Michigan. East side, off there off of Hamburg and Gratiot. Now, this dude is about 5'2", 5'3" on a good day. And he's really, really short. I don't know if you can call him a dwarf. I don't know if you call him a leprechaun. I don't know if you call him a little person, a wee person. I don't know what to call him. But I just know this dude is really short, right? So I'm like, hey, what's up, man? He like, oh, hey, what's up, bro? I said, so you up in here? He like, yeah. I said, what's your name? He was like, man, they call me M. I said, M? He was like, yeah, my name Michael, but, just call me Mighty Mouse. So in my head, I'm thinking like Mighty Mouse, right? Now, I ain't gonna lie. This dude was jacked up. Now, I ain't talking about yeah, mentally also, but that's later on for the story. But this dude was like built, like this dude was like muscle bound, like he had his arms, his triceps, his biceps, his legs, his chest. Dude was like a little, I don't know, like a little action figure hero. I don't know, like a toy action figure or something, like the Punisher or something. But anyway, I'm looking at him, and let me tell y'all something. I don't care what nobody say. Size does matter in prison, especially on your initial outlook with somebody coming in. And here's the example. So if you got a guy that come in there, maybe 5'8", 5'7", 5'6", skinny, look real timid, you're going to get extorted, beat up, and possibly get your manhood taken away from you if other dudes don't intervene. But that's usually your fate. Now, if you come in there, skinny and short, whatever, go in there with your head held high. Don't be looking at the ground. Don't be looking all nervous. And I get it. It is prison, and people first time going to prison, it can be intimidating, right? But you just have to have some type of oomph about you, because there's a lot of guys just watching, and they looking, and they trying to find any reason to do something to you, right? But anyway, so I'm like, okay, what's up? So he was like, shoot, what's your name? I said, man, they call me D. He was like, oh, okay. He was like, you from Detroit? I said, no, not really. I was born in Detroit, but on the real, I'm actually from everywhere. He was like, okay, respect, respect. So I said, so what you in here for? He was like, man, you gonna laugh. I'm like, enlighten me. So now I'm in the cell and I'm sitting on my bunk, right? He was like, man, I end up unaliving a dog. I said, what? He was like, man, let me tell you what happened. I'm like, all right, because now I'm intrigued. I want to hear why this little man unalived the dog, right? So he was like, he used to work for a pool service in Detroit, but like in the rich area. So, these rich white clients would contact him to like do their pool or whatever. So he said one day this lady had like this very nice show dog poodle, rich lady, right? But she would never keep the dog locked up, or maybe the dog could break loose and try to do something to him. So he said this would happen like 5 times. Now he said that because the money was so good, he just dealt with it. But the dog would break out and it'd be a standoff where the dog could be barking at him. Now keep in mind, y'all, this dude ain't nothing but a good 4'5". I mean 5'4", 5'5". He's a really little guy, whatever, but he's strong. And this poodle is like probably at its neck, when it's standing up, big furry thing. So he said the last time it happened, he said he was cleaning the pool and he didn't even know that the dog got up on him. He said when he turned around, the dog just launched at him like, ugh, right? Pushed him in the pool. So he said when he fell in the pool, the dog was like, they're showing his teeth, like just going nuts, right? Trying to get at him. So he said like for about 5 minutes, he was yelling like, help me, help. Hey, come get your dog. Nobody came, right? So he said, like, he just sat in the pool and he like, man, this dang dog. I mean, y'all got to peep the whole scene. Imagine trying to climb out the pool and this dog is steady meeting you on the edge and trying to bite you. So he said, like, and keep in mind, y'all, this dude is short. He's 5'4", 5'5", so he's barely staying afloat. So he have to stay in the 3-foot end, right? So he said he out there for about 5 minutes just yelling for help. Help me. Come, somebody come get this dog. Please come get this dog, right? Nobody comes. So he said he was sitting there and he was like, man, F this, man. This the 6th time that this done happened. This the 6th time that they don't let this dog out or got loose. They know I was coming today, but they gonna let this dog out? All right, bet. So he said that he got over there about 4 feet. And when the dog got right there, he acted like he was about to get out. He grabbed the dog by his fur, by his face, like right here, and grabbed his ass in the pool. He said when he grabbed the dog in the pool, well, due to YouTube laws and regulations, I can't go in descriptive detail, but let's just put it this way. You know that saying, all dogs go to heaven? Well, man, that's what he did. He sent the dog to heaven, or maybe the dog went to hell. I don't know. But anyway, he said he did that, and he said it was a struggle for a good 2 minutes, and well, the dog stopped struggling. So he said after that, he just got up, got out the pool, and left the dog there, and left. He said about 3 hours ago by, and his phone was just blowing up. First, it was the customer of who house that he did this to. And then he said like random numbers started calling. And so he said he finally picked up the phone. And the woman of the house was like, why the fuck you do that to my dog? Why you do that to my dog? He like, what? She like, why the fuck did you, we got you on camera. Why did you do that to my dog? He was like, well, if you seen it on camera, you seen what your dog was doing to me. The dog wouldn't let me out the damn pool, right? So she was like, oh, you going to jail. You going to jail. So then a guy got on the phone. I guess it was a detective that got on the phone. Was like, hey, listen, man, where you at? We can either come pick you up for questioning, or you just come down here and you need to answer some questions. He like, listen, man, y'all got the video. What do I need to talk about? Y'all seen what happened. I couldn't get out the dang pool. Y'all see me yelling and screaming for 5 minutes for somebody to come get this damn dog. So I did what I had to do. So the detective was like, well, listen, can you just come down here and give an official statement? So he was like, all right, man, whatever. So he said he called his mama and was like, hey, ma, look, I got to go downtown. I did something to a dog, whatever. He explained to his mom the situation. He was like, okay, I'm finna go downtown because they want me to give a statement. So he said he go downtown, right? He get into the interrogation room. They going over the story, and they like stand up, put your hands behind your back. He was like, what? For what? They're like, well, you unalive the dog. And he's like, no, man, hell no, man. Y'all seen the tape, man. What you mean? Long story short, y'all, they get this dude 4 years. 4 years in state prison for unaliving the dog, even though they got the video footage of what happened. But this is what happened when you have money. You're like, huh? Yeah, the woman that the poodle owner had a lot of money and a lot of connections. A lot of money gets you a lot of connections. And she wanted justice. Even though she was in the wrong, even though her dog was in the wrong, this woman wanted justice. And well, she got it. Gave homeboy 4 years, right? In a penitentiary. So anyway, quick note, y'all. If you haven't hit the like button already, hit that like button for me and hype the video. If you are not subscribed to my Patreon, make sure you subscribe to my Patreon. I'm going to have that link pinned at the top of the comment section, okay? All the exclusive videos that I can't put on YouTube, such as my other prison stories that YouTube won't allow me to put on here, they over there. My Bible stories over there. My short horror films over there. The Lamarck Moore saga over there. My Bible stories, my supernatural stories, all that content is on my Patreon. Y'all make sure y'all go check it out. That link will be pinned at the top of the comment section. All right, let's get back to the story. So I'm like, damn, they gave you 4 years. He was like, yeah. I'm like, all right, well, welcome to prison. I said, how long you been down? He was like, man, I've been down for about a year now. I said, oh, okay, all right, bet. So I'm like, well, hey, you got the top rack, man. He was like, hey, look, I get it, you know, but can I get the bottom rack? I'm like, for what? He was like, man, look at me, man. Look at me, bro, man. I'm short. I'm like, all right, you got it. So I said, all right, you got it. So I get my stuff and I put it on the top rack or whatever. And I leave out because now it's dinner time. I'm hungry than a mug, right? So this was Burger and Friday. So I'm like, all right, man, I'll holler at you, man. He's like, all right. Now, as I'm leaving now, my homeboy Al, he walk up on me. He like, so what's up with your new celly? I'm like, he seem cool, man. He seem down to earth. He don't seem like he gonna be no issue. He like, oh, okay, because he got allegations on him. I said, what? He was like, yeah, homeboy got allegations on him. I said, what type of allegations? Now, at this time, y'all, we in the corridor heading to the cafeteria or the chow hall, or whatever you want to call it, the lunchroom, right? So we in line. I said, what you mean he got allegations? He was like, man, dude is like, you know why he got moved to our dorm? I said, no, I didn't even ask. He was like, hey, man, they said that he was, trying to F on a punk and got caught. I said, what? He was like, yeah, the allegations is that, they had to move him because he kept pressing on a punk. And I guess he tried to violate a punk in the shower or whatever. And, well, they moved his ass. I said, man, where you hear that from? He was like, man, come on, Donta. You know how the grapevine is. You know how these niggas be in here gossiping. I said, yeah. So we sit down, right? And he comes in, right? Mighty Mouse, my new cellmate, comes in. So he get his tray or whatever. And he come to, now remember, y'all, he come from a different dorm. So he, in this prison, is divided by like 6 wings, basically. So there's 3 cafeterias. So if a lot of times you would probably never see somebody unless you going out your way to see them if they in another dorm or something, and they got 5 yards, right? So he's new in here. Don't nobody really know this dude up in here, but he sees me and he zero in. So he comes to my table. Now there's an open seat right next to me. So he comes in and he sit next to me. So I'm like, hey y'all, this my new celly, man. This Mighty Mouse, whatever. They like, what up, and all this and that, whatever. So he eating his food, right? So now I don't know if y'all know Al temperament. Al was kind of like a jokester, right? So Al was like, "Hey man, Dante, how you feel about sissies up in here?" I'm like, "What you mean?" Now I know what Al doing. I know exactly what Al doing. He's trying to get a reaction out of Mighty Mouse. Now Mighty Mouse is just eating his food, and I'm like, "Well, I mean, I don't know. Should they do them? And as long as they stay out my way, we good." And he was like, "But how would you feel if a so-called straight dude was like messing with a sissy on the low?" I was like, "Shit, I don't nothing. It ain't none of my business. Why?" I know what he's doing, y'all. He trying to get a reaction out of Mighty Mouse, but Mighty Mouse ain't saying nothing. In fact, he ain't stunting at all. He just eat this food and just, I don't know. So I guess as Al noticing this, Al like bag off or whatever. So Mighty Mouse get done with his food and he like, "All right, D, I'm gonna catch you later," and just walk out. So when he leave out, I'm like, "Al, are you sure? Are you positive that this dude, like, because he didn't seem bothered." He was like, "Yeah, that is kind of weird, man. This dude had like a whole poker face on, like he didn't even flinch." I said, "Are you sure?" He was like, "Yeah, man, this what niggas was telling me." Now, let me tell y'all something. Just because it's out there, just because a guy got allegations on him, that doesn't mean it's true. Okay. Dudes gossip, dudes hate, dudes lie all the time in prison. So it could have just been somebody just want to joke on him and just put that on him, right? So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna leave it alone. This is where this story takes a dangerous turn. This is where this story gets, how can I say, we about to enter the terror dome. So now I'm on the yard and I'm working out, right? I'm over there on the weight pile, throwing up 450, right? And Al spotting me. So Al like, "Hey, look, 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 look." So he grabbed a bar and I like sit up off the bench and he pointing towards Mighty Mouse. Now Mighty Mouse is talking to this homosexual named Peanut. And I'm looking like, okay. And he was like, look at him, look at him. And they just walk in the yard. Mighty Mouse and Peanut just walk in the yard, right? So I'm like, maybe it's true. Maybe it's true. So I tell Al, like, I'm gonna holler at him later on. I'm gonna get at him later on and ask him what's that all about. Because if he did get sent to my unit and in my cell because he got these allegations on him, nah, ain't no way he can be in my cell. Ain't no way. And now that I see him actually out here, because before this, it was just rumors. But now I actually see him out here walking the yard with Peanut. So I'm real suspicious of this. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna holler at him later. All right, I'm gonna holler at him when we get in the cell. So I get back working out, whatever. Now, as y'all know, after I get done working out, I gotta go hit the prison shower. I got to. So I go to my cell. I get my soap. I get my washcloth, my dry off cloth, and I head down there with my shower shoes on. When I get in there, right, there's nobody in here. Now keep in mind, y'all, this is a community shower. Community shower. Now, quick side note. When I first got locked up, I would shower in my boxers. Okay. Because it was just really weird, going in a shower with 20 different dudes and y'all and everybody butt ass naked. Now, newcomers, when they come in, everybody come in like that, shower in their boxers. But when you become a convict, you ain't really tripping about that no more. So at this time, Dante is a convict. So I'm in there naked, right? Now I'm washing up. Now I got shampoo on my head, right? And if shampoo get in your eyes gonna be burning like a mug. Now, since I don't hear nobody and nobody was in there, everything was good, right? So I'm like, okay, maybe I could be in here for a good 2-3 minutes, all right? Got some privacy. So I'm washing up or whatever. I hear some noise. Like, so let me give y'all the setup of how this prison shower is, or the prison bathroom. Once you come from the day room, right? You go in a small corridor, maybe 3 feet. Now to the left is the bathroom where the toilet at, right? Where the toilets is at. But if you go through this corridor and go to the right, that's where the prison shower's at. Now I heard like some noise. Keep in mind, y'all, I'm in the shower, so everything kind of echoes from the hallway, from that corridor. So I hear some noise, but it sounds like, you know, whoever this noise coming from is coming from that bathroom over there, right? So I ain't really tripping. So now, you know, I'm trying to get like this. I got shampoo in my hair, and my ears is kind of like clogged a little bit with the water, so I can't. Everything's kind of muffled right now. So I did not know that Peanut and Mighty Mouse is in here. They not in here with me per se, because I'm right here dead smack up in here, right? They are like right behind the corner. Like if they walk up and then go to the left, now they in the shower, right? But they in this corridor right here. And now I hear like muffled noise. So I'm instantly, my anxiety is rising because I don't know who this is. I hear somebody, but I don't hear them. I just know they coming this way. So I hear up and keep trying to get the soap out my eyes or whatever. And it get louder and louder. And I hear, stop, 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 don't do that. You tripping. So I hear the voice and I know it's Peanut, right? And then I hear the other voice like, man, come on, man, come on. Come on, man, let's go. Come on, hurry up. And it's Mighty Mouse. It's Mighty Mouse. So now I'm sitting there and I'm thinking to myself, like, this motherfucker, right? This motherfucker. So I'm like, this motherfucker really did that. This dude trying to, so I'm trying to hurry up and get this soap off my damn face, the shampoo, right? So I just yell out. I say, hey, man, who is that? Who is that? Right? And then I hear footsteps run off. So I'm like, I bet. So I hurry up and get the water and shampoo off me, right? And I'm mad. I'm upset. So I dry off, put my towel on, and I'm leaving out. I go upstairs. Mighty Mouse is sitting on the desk talking to Gay Peanut. They are in my cell. He has Peanut in my cell, and they talking. I seen red, y'all. I seen red. I said, "Hey, Peanut, you gotta go." Mighty Mouse was like, "Oh, okay. I'll see you later. I'll see you later, Peanut." Peanut leave out. I go in the cell. I put the white sheet up. I said, "Hey, why the fuck you had that motherfucker in my cell?" He was like, "What you talking about?" I said, "Why the fuck would you have that motherfucker in my cell?" He was like, "Is this my cell too, bro? This is my cell too. I can't have company." I said, "Listen, I heard what you did. I heard why you got sent over here." He was like, What you mean?" I said, "I heard what you did and how you got sent over and why you over here. And I ain't going for that. Pack all your shit and get out this cell." He was like, "Man, I ain't going nowhere, man. I ain't going nowhere." I said, "What?" He was like, "I ain't going nowhere." Now, when he said that, I just got instantly mad. I was already angry, but now I'm mad to the point that I just snapped. And before I know it, I got on him, pause. So I just launched at him, right? Grabbed him by his neck, picked him up off the desk by his neck, and I choke slammed him to the floor. And when I did that, it's like he grabbed my towel. Now I'm naked. So now I'm just like standing over him, butt naked. Boom, boom, boom. Right? He boiling up like, hey, man, stop, man. Stop. I'm hitting him. Boom, boom. Hitting him to the left. Boom. Hitting him to the right. Wow. Right? Now he's kicking at this point. He's kicking. I'm like, motherfucker, kick me again. Because he trying to kick me, in my shotgun, right? So he like, man, stop. I said, kick me again. I'm like, bow, bow. I'm giving it to him. Boom, boom, boom. Right? Get the fuck out the cell. You gonna get out? Yeah, man, I'm gonna get out. Boom, boom. Hit him again, right? So then I stand up. I'm like, get the fuck out the cell. Get out the cell. Now remember, y'all, I'm standing here butt ass naked, right? So he like, all right. Let me tell y'all something. Never turn your back in a fight. I don't care how small a guy is, how weak you think a guy is. I don't care if you think that even if you just whoop this dude out, never turn your back in the fight. And this is what Donta did. I turned my back for maybe 3 seconds, right, to grab my towel. When I turned my back and I bent over to grab the towel, he jumped on my back. On my back, and he tried to rear neck and choke me out, right? So just imagine me butt naked in the cell and this midget on my back trying to choke me out. So I'm ramming him against the damn bars. I'm ramming him against the desk or whatever. And finally, I ram him against the bunk. Now, these metal bunks, when I did that, boom, I guess I hit him across his back or whatever. And he was like, ow, ow. And he let go, right? So I grabbed him by his neck again to choke him out, right? And he just grabbing at my arms or whatever, like, let me go, man, let me go. So I said, you gonna get out? He's like, let me go. So I didn't realize how much pressure I was putting on him when I was choking him out. And I actually choked him out. He went unconscious, right? So he laying there. So I'm thinking to myself, like, damn, I hope I didn't just kill this dude. So now I check his pulse, whatever. He's still breathing, whatever. So I hurry up, put my drawers on, put my pants on, my shirt or whatever. And I just picked him up and put him in his bed, right? And I walked out. So I go hit the yard. I'm out there doing my thing. Let the homies know, like, what just happened, whatever. And Al, like, I told you, man. I told you he was like that. I told you. I said, yeah, you was right. Yeah, right. Sure enough, you see the captain and 2 guards beelining straight over there where I'm at. Donta, cuff up. I already know what time it is, right? So I cuff up as we walking. They like, yeah, you know you're going to the hole, right? I said, yeah, I know. All right, y'all. This prison story is about when I tried to extort the Detroit rapper 42 Dugg in prison, but it went terribly wrong. So as y'all know, every Tuesday we get brand new inmates, right? So me and the homies over here in the corner shooting dice, right? So the door popped, boom. So there's 3 white guys and there's 2 black guys, but one of the black dudes is really short, like about the same height as Mighty Mouse, right? Now, when he came in, I'm looking because he looked like my nephew. And like, I'm looking at him, but my nephew ain't nothing but 10 years old. So it kind of took me back, like, what the, right? When you see somebody, you got to take a double look. So I'm looking, and I said, damn, man, dude like my nephew. But I know it's not him because he's 10 years old, right? So my partner like, hey, man, that's Dugg. I said, Dugg, who is that? He was like, man, that's that rapper dude in Detroit. He from the D. He from where we from. I said, what? Now, listen, Detroit got a lot of rappers there. A lot of rappers. It's like 1,000 rappers there, but only maybe 5 make it out every 10 years. And 42 Dugg is one of them guys that done made it out. Now, I'm not on the rap scene. I'm not really into the rap culture like at all. I rarely even listen to music. So I don't know who this guy is, but my homeboy like, yeah, man, that's 42 Dugg, man. He making some noise in the D, man. Matter of fact, he making noise everywhere. Matter of fact, that's the guy that got into it with Offset in a dice game. And I'm like, Offset? Who the fuck is Offset? He's like, man, Cardi B ex-husband. I'm like, oh, okay. Right? So I'm like, all right, whatever. So my other homeboy like, hey, Donta, man, you ain't going to approach him? I said, yeah, I'm going to get at him. Now, for those that may not know, what I used to do in prison, my business was to make it my business to offer you protection, okay? And you will pay me. Now, everybody paid me in different ways, different amounts. Some people would pay me $500 a month. Some people, it done got to about 100 bands a month, $100,000 at one point in time I was getting out of somebody. But that's a whole nother story. But before we go on, y'all do me a favor right quick. Hit that like button for your big partner right quick. And share this video and hype the video. And make sure y'all subscribe to my Patreon. It will be pinned at the top of the comment section. Okay? My prison stories that I can't put on here is over there. My short horror films is over there. My Bible stories, my supernatural stories, and the Lamarck Moore saga is over there too. Also, y'all, I started my gaming channel. That will be pinned at the top of the comment section too. Let's get back to the story. So I'm like, yeah, I'm finna go over there. So I had one of my homeboys hold my commissary or whatever, because I wasn't done in this dice game. So I see what cell he go into. So I bounce over there and I knock on the door like, knock, because it's disrespectful to just walk in somebody's cell. So I gave him the common courtesy and I just knocked on the door. And he turned around, he was like, what's up? I said, you Dugg? He was like, yeah, who is you? I said, man, I'm Donta. He was like, all right, nice to meet you. I said, you running with anybody? He was like, yeah, I'm rolling with these Bloods. I said, Bloods? He was like, yeah. I was like, well, ain't no Bloods up in here, so what's happening? And I'm gonna be real with y'all, even though 42 Dugg is on the short side, that dude got heart. He got heart, because y'all know I'm like 6'1", and at that time I was pushing at least a good 240, 250, jacked up, stacked up, right? So, he was holding his ground. He didn't seem like, he was intimidated by my posture, of my presence, right? So I felt that from him. But I also know, like, if I come in here and put my hands on him, there's nothing that he can do. You know what I'm saying? So I pressed the issue. So I'm like, so you rolling with the Bloods? And he was like, yeah, I just said that. Now, the way he said it with a little attitude, and my anger built up, right? Now, I didn't know how loud I was, but I started getting angry. And I was like, what you say? He was like, I told you I'm rolling with the Bloods, but I don't even need nobody to hold me down. I can hold myself down. Now me and him arguing back and forth, right? Because now I'm like, hold on. This dude actually bucking on me? Do he not know who I am? So I start to walk in his cell, and then this dude named Bone from Detroit step in like, hey, hold up, Donta, hold on. I'm like, hey, hold on, nigga, bag up. He like, no, hold on, man, I can't let you do that, man. That's my homeboy, man. That's one of my homeboys. Now, me and this dude, Bone, no, this is not Bone from Flint, Michigan. This is not Bone that I told y'all about that was, programming real crazy, right? Well, this is the dude named Bone from Detroit, right? And, he an OG from Living Noise or whatever. So he stepped in like, no, I can't let you do that. This my homeboy. So I said, your homeboy? He like, yeah, this my homeboy. I said, all right, you got it. Then I walked off. Now, what I did not know, this dude, he didn't know him, man. Dude was clout chasing like a mug. He did that to get some brownie points. He didn't know 42 at all. He ain't know this dude at all. But I guess he felt like if he would step in and intervene on his behalf towards me, that, you know, he'd get some brownie points or whatever. Now, I will find this out later, and, well, it's something, some consequences came behind that. But anyway, so I go downstairs and I get back in the game, and my homeboy like what's that? What's happening? I said, nah, he ain't going. I'm gonna leave it alone. He was like, what? Man, dude, rich, man, you better go press, dude. I'm like, nah, I'm gonna leave him alone, man. He talking about he running with the Bloods or whatever, and I don't really feel like getting into it with these dudes or whatever. And he was like, man, how you don't know if he pump faking? Now, for those that don't know what pump faking is basically pretending, right? That's basically what pump faking is. So I was like, I think he really liked that. He was like, man, dude, you know how much money you can get up out of him? I said, yeah, but I don't think he gonna go for it. And let me give y'all a quick sideline. In prison, there's predators and there's prey. Me, I was predator. You know, I'd be damned if I was gonna become prey, right? But the reason why I bring this up, because I want to enlighten the audience on something. Normally, predators, they prey on the weak, right? Case in point, let's say when I approached 42 Dugg the first time, right? When I approached him and he didn't check me, that right there would have let me know, like, he's soft and I can keep pushing this line on him, and eventually I can extort him and get a whole bunch of money up out of him. But he pushed back, right? Now, I could have kept pressing it, but the thing is about predators, we don't always want to get an issue. Well, what I'm really trying to say is, don't nobody want to get stabbed, right? I'd rather go after somebody that I know that's not going to fight back and don't give me no hassle, you know, because my worst fear in prison was getting stabbed. I don't care how big you are. I don't care how tough you are. Don't nobody want to get stabbed. Okay, I done been poked 3 times already, and it wasn't fun. So the reason why I bring that up again is to let y'all know that most predators go after the weak and vulnerable, that they know ain't gonna be no pushback, right? So anyway, I'm like, nah, man, I don't feel like dealing with it, man. I do seem like he'd be a headache. So my homeboy like, man, all right, man, whatever. Now, my homeboy, he was an extortionist too. All right, now he wasn't a part of my clique. Now, you know, my clique consists of Al, Tar T, Homicide, DK, Diddy Kong, Westside, J Rock, before we have to put J Rock out of the group. Let me do a fun fact right quick. For those that been watching me for years, how did J Rock get put out of my clique? Let me know in the comment section. I want to see how long y'all been rocking with me and who know how J Rock got put out the clique. Put it in the comment section. So anyway, my homeboy, I'm just gonna call him P Nice. We're gonna call him P Nice. So P Nice like, man, bunk that, man. I don't give a who he rolling with, man. I need some of that bread. I need some of that money. I said, all right, man, you got it. So he go upstairs, right? And he just walked into 42 Dugg's cell, just walked right in there, right? Now, I'm assuming the dude Bone is in there, right? I guess Bone in there talking to him about whatever. I don't know, right? I done tunes already out. So then I hear, oh, what you gonna do? You gonna do this? You gonna do this? It's like that? It's like that? You gonna do this?
This what P Nice saying to Bone, right? And I'm like, man, what the fuck is going on? So everybody looking that way, like, what the heck going on? So then 42 Dugg just come out the cell with his hands up like, hey man, y'all need to chill, man. Ain't nobody. And then he just got up on the tip like, hey, all y'all motherfuckers listen up, right? This is what 42 Dugg doing. He on the second tier and he getting up on the bar. And he like, hey, all you motherfuckers listen up. I'm not going for nothing. I ain't going for nothing. I'm from the D. And besides that, I'm a man. Ain't no motherfucking body extort me. I ain't getting nobody plugged into nothing. I am who I am, and I'm gonna do what I do. Right? So I'm looking, I said, look at this motherfucker. Look at this dude, right? So right there and there, I had my mind made up. I said, you know what? Dude, he good. He good in my book. You know what I'm saying? Because I guess Bone was in there trying to extort him. P Nice came in there. And whatever took place between him, Bone, and 42 Dugg just came out and was it just set the record straight. Like, y'all think I'm going to be a lick or whatever, right? But I ain't going to be no licker. He came out the room and put down on everybody. So he go back in his room, right? And Bone, he come down the tier and he leave out, right? He leave out. I don't know where he go. And then P Nice come down there. He was like, yeah, I'm going to get this motherfucker. I'm going to get this motherfucker. Just watch. I'm going to get that motherfucker, right? I don't care about all that loud talk. I'm from Detroit, too. I don't give a fuck, man. I said, what you say to him? He was like, man, I let him and Bone know, like, shit, nigga, I want in. Nigga, I want in. I need something for him to live up in here. I said, what exactly did you say? I told that nigga, if you going to be up in this unit, then you going to have to pay rent. And that's when, he came out to cell, talking big. I said, how much you tell him that he was going to have to pay? He was like, I didn't even get to it. Bone kept running his damn mouth. See, Bone like to play games. Like, this what P Nice telling me. He like, Bone like to play games. Bone trying to befriend the nigga and trying to slow roll it. But no, man, I'm putting down on him, right? So I said, oh, okay. So it's lunchtime. So everybody leaving out, right? Now, right after lunchtime, we can hit the yard. Lunchtime is 1 p.m. And the yard is open from 1:30 to 6:30, right? So we in the lunchroom, right? And then 42 Dugg come in there. Now, keep in mind, y'all, 42 Dugg ain't nothing but, what? I don't know, 4 feet, 8, 4'9". I give him 5 feet. Because I don't know exactly how tall he is, but I know 42 Dugg is really short. I just know he really short. So when he come in there, I see like 5 Bloods right behind him. So I'm looking and I'm like, okay, that must be the Blood dudes that, that's with him, whatever. So I see them with him, whatever, and they go over there and they go sit down, right? So then my homeboy P Nice is over there with his crew, right? And they like having a face off. So you got 42 Dugg and like 4-5 Bloods over here, and they mean mugging and ice grilling my homeboy P Nice and his homies, right? I guess 42 Dugg let them know, like, hey man, this dude trying to press me or whatever, and he just put him on alert. And P Nice over there, and he like, yeah, it's like whatever. So me and my crew get up and we go hit the yard, right? I ain't studying it. It ain't none of my business, right? But I'm curious of how this gonna go down. So we hit the yard. We over here on the basketball court, right? So we having a 5-on-5 against the Woods, right? Whooping these white boys out. Remember that movie White Man Can't Jump? They actually have one white boy on their team that, that actually can hoop, right? But anyway, we whooping them out. We going to 21. Whooping them out. So now you see the Bloods and 42 Dugg, they hit the yard, right? And they over here, they not right by the basketball court. It's like these bleachers that's maybe 15 feet away from us. So they all over there sitting over there and they talking or whatever. I really can't hear what they talking about because I'm in the middle of this game, right? But I could hear, like, you know, the tone of the conversation a little bit, and a body language looking like, you know, they about to do something. So I'm letting my homeboys know, like, hey, hold on, y'all, wait a minute, get on point, man, because I think they finna do something or whatever. They like, okay, so, you know, we still hooping or whatever, and then my homeboy P Nice come out there with his homeboys, and they beelining right over there to 42 Dugg in the Bloods. So they walking towards him. Now at this time, 42 Dugg and the Bloods is like sitting on the bleachers, right? So it, like I said, it's about 6 of them, and then my homeboy P Nice and his crew, it's about 8 of them. So they stopped like maybe 2 feet away from each other, right? And at this point, everybody on the yard is watching. We done stopped playing basketball. Niggas on the track walking slow, looking. Everybody that's around, everybody looking like, oh, what's about to happen, right? Next thing I know, the homie P Nice pull out that sword of justice, right? When he pulled out the sword of justice, the Bloods, like 2 Bloods, like got in front of 42 Dugg and was like, hey, man, chill out, man. Hey, chill, right? They protecting the money. You know, they know if something happened to 42 Dugg, you know, he's paying y'all or rolling with y'all or whatever he's doing, that, you know, y'all better do your job. And they hurry up and pushed him back and got in front of him, right? So now they arguing back and forth. Man, hey, this, that, whoop-de-whoop, all this and that, Detroit this, Detroit that, east side, west side, all this talk, right? And we just looking like, I can't believe, like, P Nice is about to go to war over 42 Dugg, trying to get some bread out of him, right? So then one of the captains that be on the yard, you know, he was out there with about 4 rovers. And what is a rover? A rover is basically like the lowest CO, the lowest correctional officer in the prison. All they do is just walk around, right? They not assigned to no dormitory or no area. They just walk around. So they with this captain, and he see it unfold, and he like, all right, hey, y'all break that shit up, right? So they like, I bet. We gonna see y'all. That's what my homeboy P Nice is saying. So they bail off, right? I don't know what happened because it happened so fast. It just happened so fast. That's why I say in prison, man, you gotta watch your back, man. You gotta watch your surroundings. Because when we resumed the basketball game, all you hear is, oh shit, right? And I look, one of the bloods that was protecting 42 Dugg poured out one of P Nice homeboys. I'm talking about the dude was holding his neck and blood was squirting everywhere. So everybody like, man, what the right? Everybody running. It's mayhem, pandemonium. Me and my crew instantly formed like Voltron, and we torpedo straight to get up out of there off the yard, right? Now, we get back to our unit or whatever. Keep in mind, 42 Dugg is in this unit also. About 5 minutes to go by, I see Dugg. He run in, right? He run up the stairs. He go to a cell. He lock in. So I'm curious. I'm like, man, what the fuck happened? So about 20 minutes to go by, more guys is coming in or whatever. They locking everything down, right? So more people coming in, and now I'm getting more of the story. You know, one of 42 Dugg's bodyguards, you know, end up pouring out one of P Nice dudes or whatever. Now keep in mind, y'all, P Nice is in here also, but he's in this unit, but he's not in here yet, right? So then a captain the unit manager come in there, Big Tasha. I told y'all about Big Tasha, okay? She come in there, she's like, everybody lock it down right now. Everybody lock it down and y'all going to the hole. Everybody go to y'all cell. So we like, oh man, so we all go lock it up, right? About 5 minutes go by. She go upstairs and she pull 42 Dugg out of his cell, right? He like, man, I don't want to go nowhere. I don't need to be in no PC, man. I don't need to be. She like, listen, this is for this. This just ain't for your safety. You a liability. You are a liability, and you causing a lot of issues. You gotta go. You gotta go. So he like, man, I ain't going nowhere. Y'all gonna have to cell extract me. Y'all gonna have to cell extract me. Cell extract me. The guards gonna come in there, whoop you out, and drag you out that cell and throw you in a hole. So he like, y'all gonna have to cell extract me. She was like, listen, man, you just need to come with us. I don't want to have to go through all this, man. So he like, man, no, bunk that. Y'all just gonna have to cell extract me. And she was like, so you really want us to make the fuck out of you? You want us to make the fuck out of you? I guess he sat back and thought about it. And he was like, yeah, you right. So he cuff up. They grab all this stuff. And that was the last time. Actually, that was the first and last time that I seen 42 Dugg.
Look, before I start this prison story about how Coco became Coco in prison, let me give a disclaimer. Okay, so I barely ever read the comment section. Okay, yeah, I'll skim through it every once in a while and respond to a couple people that, might maybe ask me a question, or I might put salute or something like that in the comment section, whatever. Or if I see somebody that's normally comment, I'll respond to them. But I noticed about 4 or 5 people keep writing the exact same thing in the comment section. And it goes like this: I'm going to stop watching because the only thing you talk about is some gay stuff, right? Now, when I read the comment, I done seen that about 5 or 6 different times from the same exact person. And that comment was on different videos. So I'm scratching my head and I'm like, what? So you asking me in the comment section in 6 different videos, I'm pretty sure more, why do I only talk about gay shit? So I'm sitting here trying to comprehend the question, because I'm like, well, if I only talk about gay shit, why are you watching? That's the part is just mind-boggling. If I only talk about gay shit and you got a problem with me talking about gay shit, what? It doesn't make sense. Why are you clicking on it? And I know you're watching the video all the way through. So it's like, let me tell you something. Whoever you are, or anybody else that may have that thought in their mind, first of all, that's what YouTube is pushing, okay, on my channel. I do upload different type of content, but YouTube will not push it. In order for you to see the different type of content, you'll have to actually go on my page and click videos, and you can see that I actually talk about other stuff. But these are the videos that go viral. This is what get pushed through the algorithm. Now, if you want to see my other videos, like the prison stories that I can't put on here, my short horror films, or my Bible stories, or my supernatural stories, go to my Patreon, okay? I'm gonna have my Patreon pinned at the top of the comment section, okay? But to answer your question, first of all, you don't tell me how to program. I do what I want to do on my channel. If you have an issue about what I'm uploading on my channel, get a Google account. Matter of fact, you already got a Google account. Create a channel and you tell your stories, okay? You don't have to listen to them. You don't have to listen to my stories. You can create your own channel and tell your stories. And that way you don't have to worry about what gay I'm uploading, all right? at least, at minimum, you could hit the like button and hype the video. Now, sorry, audience, let me get back to the story. So, this is how Coco, the dude that J-Rock ended up messing with, this is how Coco became Coco in prison. Now, Coco started off in the streets as a blood, right? Coco was in Saginaw, Michigan. Now, I stayed in Flint, Michigan for a lot of years, and every once in a blue moon, I would actually go to Saginaw, Michigan. There's a spot up there called Stardust. It got this bowling alley, like these bumping cars, this throwing axe thing. They got laser tag. It's like a little fun center right there in Saginaw, whatever. And then they got this all-you-can-eat buffet Chinese restaurant that, I normally take the kids to. Now, I don't never really be up in Saginaw like that to know, like, the politics and, the street politics and stuff like that. I don't know. Apparently, they got gangs up there, and one of their gangs are Bloods. Now, dude name is Antonio Bell, right? His real name, Antonio Bell. And I know y'all like, damn, Donta, you gonna put homie name out there like his real name? Yeah, I'm gonna put his real name out there. You want to know why? This is why. Because when these dudes, these so-called street dudes, when they get locked up, right, they start mixing with punks, or they become a punk. Right? And then they be sitting up there in a visiting room with their wife or their girlfriends kissing on them when they just got done getting off their knees on another man up in here. So it ain't fair to the women out there in the free world that's holding them down, right? If one might say, well, Donta, that ain't none of your business, bruh. Hey, let me tell y'all something. I'm not about to be protecting these freaked out dudes, because think about it like this, y'all. And we about to get to the story. But think about this. What if your mama, right, or your sister, or somebody that you love and you care for that's a female, end up getting in a relationship with one of these homo thugs, and one of these homo thugs done caught something that they can't get rid of from a sissy in prison, right, or the county jail, and they get out and they get at to your loved one. Then how you gonna feel? Is it still, oh, Donta, you should mind your business? Don't put, prison politics business out there. No, man, let them fight. Nah. Either you gonna be righteous or you gonna be wicked. And I'm not holding up to the convict code no more. I'm putting these niggas' names out there, location, all that. If you got an issue with me, you know where I be at. 7 Mile and Green Mile, Detroit. Let's go. Now, anyway, so you got Antonio Bell, right? So Antonio Bell from Saginaw, Michigan. And I guess he's a blood. And, I guess he got a crew out there with had a crew. So I guess they was doing like robberies, like at the 7-Eleven stores, 7-Eleven stores, holding up city trends. They were just robbing a lot of things in Saginaw or whatever. Well, eventually somebody get caught doing something else without the gang. And, the detective told him like, hey, bro, you looking at 15 to 20. The little dude can't do the 15 to 20. So he like, listen, I know about some robberies, and I don't want to go to jail, man. I'll tell you everything that you need to know. And this is how Antonio Bell, the leader of the Bloods back then in Saginaw, this is why he get locked up, because one of his little partners snitched on him and the whole crew. And now he in here with us. So when he come in a pod, right, my homie's like, hey, I think dude from Saginaw. Now when Antonio Bell first came in there, he didn't look like a homosexual. He wasn't one, from my understanding. And just to give y'all some clarity, Antonio Bell eventually became Coco in prison. Okay, so when he came in, one of my homies was like, hey, I think that dude from Saginaw. And now since he from Saginaw, it's right there close to Flint. So I had to address him. He was going to be a part of my car, because Flint and Saginaw and anything in between will be considered, my car, whatever. So me and Tar T roll over there on him. I'm like, hey, what's up, man? What's your name? He like, my name Tone. I said, Tone? He said, yeah. I said, where you from? He like, I'm from Saginaw. I said, oh, okay, well, you with us. He like, all right, bet. I said, look, I gotta ask you, do you do drugs? He was like, no, but you know, I was selling work out there in the street, whatever. I said, are you getting any work in here? Are you planning on bringing any work in here? He like, nah, not right now. I'm just trying to, you know, see what's what and who is who. I said, okay. I said, you ain't no, you know, I gotta ask, you don't fuck with punks, do you? He was like, no, hell no, man. I'm a G, man. Hell no, man. No, I'm a blood. I said, oh, you blood? He was like, yeah. Now, when he said that right there, I just supposed to just bag off, right? Because there are bloods in this tank, and now that's their business. The blood gang supersede what I got going on. So I said, oh, okay, well, look, your people over there, right? So it's about 8 bloods or whatever. So he get up and he go over there, he go talk to them. Now, from that point, I have nothing to do with him, right? Even though he's from Saginaw and I was running the Flint car, I have nothing else to do with this guy because he with the bloods now. Like I said, the gang shit supersede the city shit, right? Unless he just made a declaration and was like, nah, because I done seen this happen a couple times where a dude will be a part of a gang and, you know, all his homeboys is from the city and he like, nah, man, I'm going to roll with my homies, right? Sometimes it works out, sometimes it don't. So anyway, he will go on for the next couple months putting in work on the white boys, right? The Bloods went to war with the white boys, the Crips, the Gangster Disciples, my crew, and other crew. We didn't have to get involved because it really wasn't a big deal. You know, they was fighting over the drug empire or whatever. But like I said, me and my crew had nothing to do with it because that was one of my things. We do not get involved in drugs. We don't sell them. We don't use them. We just not our forte. Our forte was extortion and not extortion. Sorry, y'all. Hey, listen, if anybody out, if FBI, CIA, NSA, or local sheriff department listening, no, we wasn't running extortion. I overspoke. We was running protection. Okay. So anyway, me and my crew, we just offer protection to people, right? So I would see Antonio like out there, you know, pressing the line on white boys, like he was really putting in mad work. So they end up, I guess, winning the war on drugs up in there, and now they booming. They got they connect, they booming, they doing it all. Now the white boys, it's kind of dismantled. A lot of them white boys got shipped off the compound. A lot of them got put over here, put over there. Like they really separated. And a lot of them dudes went to PC, right? Because they couldn't stand against the Bloods, right? But then there was a couple of the white boys that was out there that, you know, they were just out there. And like I said, it really wasn't my business, but this prison, everything is gonna come to you. So now we finna get to the part how Antonio became Coco. Now, at this time, Antonio is damn near the #1 blood in this prison, right? He done rolls through the ranks real fast in these last 3-4 months that he got there and was putting in that work on the white boys or whatever. So now, as y'all know, when you at the top of the food chain, you don't want nobody replacing you. And the guy that was over him, I'm not going to mention his name because he actually my sister baby daddy, and he's still locked up, so I'm not going to put his name out there. But, you know, he was the #1 blood on the compound. And, you know, he felt like his power was getting, you know, questioned and threatened by Antonio, right? Which is Coco, which will eventually be Coco. Now, I don't know for this to be true. I'm not putting this on Coco, a.k.a. Antonio Bell. I'm not putting it on him because I don't know for a fact. I wasn't there. I didn't see this. But Coco, we're just going to call him Coco so y'all don't get it confused. Coco. No, we got to call him Antonio because he's not Coco yet, right? So Antonio allegedly, I'm gonna say allegedly, put a knife and some heroin in, my sister baby daddy cell, right, which was the number one blood, right? And somebody dropped the dime on him, shook the cell down, and they end up shipping his ass off up north, right? And now Antonio is the head blood, right? Now everybody naturally fell in line because, he was number 2 and it wasn't no power grab or nothing. He was just number 2. Now he moved up. Now he running the Bloods, right? Now his programming was slightly different from, my sister baby daddy, the number one blood that just got set up and got shipped off, right? His motto was this when it came to homosexuality, right? His motto was that if you got 10 years or more, you are allowed to be with a sissy, a punk, right? A boy. And the thing about it is, but you have to be the man in that relationship. You could only give, you can't receive, right? And that's where the shit went left. Now you got OGs in this blood gang, right? You got dudes that ain't with it. And you got some dudes that is with it, but don't want to be the first one to, put it out there. Then you got some dudes that's just straight up and down, I ain't going for it, right? So that's when the rumor started. And keep in mind, y'all, I'm not blood, I'm not gang affiliated or nothing like that, right? So I really don't give a damn what they got going on and how they, doing their politics, whatever. But he the number one blood, and he said that's what it is. If you got 10 years or better, you can be with, a sissy. You just can't be the one to receive. You can be the one that give. Right? So slowly but surely, I guess it started implementing, right? And nobody in the Bloods really came out with it like that. You heard rumors here and there that, this dude done ducked off over here, or it was rumors that this person was caught with that person. And I know what y'all thinking. Y'all like, man, Donta, how do you know this? Because this is prison, man. Prison is like a small city where you just can't leave, right? And if anything happened up in here, it's rumors, gossiping, right? The grapevine. Matter of fact, hey, let me ask y'all a question. Y'all remember back in the 90s, it was a song that came out, said, I heard it through the grapevine. What exactly is the grapevine? You see, I'm 37 years. I was born in 88. What is the grapevine? I never knew what that was, man. What is the grapevine? Let me know in the comment section, right? Matter of fact, hey, do me a favor, y'all. If y'all haven't hit the like button already, hit the like button, hype the video, and last but not least, put the year you was born in the comment section, okay? I want to see. I was born in 1988. Put it in the comment section. Let's see what year y'all was born. But anyway, so the allegations done got out there, right? Now, I haven't seen, at this time, y'all, there was 4 homosexuals with 4 sissies that was in this prison that was known, like really out there. It was this dude named Walnut. They call Walnut. This dude named Peaches, this dude named Peanut, and this dude named Queen Dorothy. That's right. Somebody named Queen Dorothy. I got a whole story about this Queen Dorothy cat, right? But anyway, there was the main cats that was out there. Now, I saw this with my own 2 eyes, okay? I saw this with my own 2 eyes. I was just coming from the counseling office, right? And when you hit the corner and somebody like press off of somebody, like if y'all was hugging or something and then you just hurry up to move away or whatever, I seen that with Walnut and Antonio, right? Antonio Bear with AKA Coco. I done seen that. And he was like, all right, man, I'm gonna holler at you later, and just walked off. But I already seen it was too late, right? But I didn't say nothing. It wasn't none of my business. Rumors start swirling that Walnut, right, the gay guy Walnut and Antonio was in a full-blown relationship, right? Now, it done got to a point where they walk in the yard together. Not only that they walk in the yard together, they holding hands. Right, they in a chow hall, sitting next to each other, just talking. They in love, and this at the blood table too, right? So the other bloods that wasn't with that shit was like, man, fuck this, man. This shit ain't this ain't going down, man. Hell no, this ain't happening. Now, keep in mind, y'all, he's the #1 blood at this time, right? And he got all this chaos going on, and there's a lot of dudes that's not even hiding no more. They like, man, fuck this, man. No, this shit ain't going down, right? And for the ones that was doing shit on the low, they were just going along with it. Like, they was pretending like they had, issues with the big blood, Antonio doing what he doing, but low key they doing shit on the low too. But outwardly they telling people like, yeah, man, this shit ain't cool, right? But low key they ducking off in dark corners doing right. But anyway, for the sake of time, I'm gonna have to speed this story up because I gotta get ready to go to the grocery store. But anyway, they have a meeting on the yard, right? It's about 30 of them out there, about 30 of them. And I can't hear the conversation, but it's looking really tense. It's looking real intense because, I see the hand movement. I see dudes' body gestures and all that. And it's like it's a real heated, talk over there, whatever. So then I just see, Antonio just walk off like, all right, man, whatever. And he just walk off, right? So rumor has it like they put Antonio off. They put him off blood. He ain't blood no more. And I guess that they gave him an ultimatum like, hey, man, you making the bloods look weak. And hell no, we ain't condoning that homosexual activity, man. So no, man, either you denounce that shit or you got to get out the gang or you going to get beat out the gang or whatever. And I guess he said, man, fuck it. He dropped his flag or whatever, right? So with that, he just came out there full blown now. He went Walnut like for real. And now for the next 2-3 weeks, will go by, you will see Antonio like transforming. Like in like 2 weeks, he was transforming. First, it started off with him altering his clothes, right? His pants was more tighter. His shirt got tighter, right? This dude started wearing like, I don't know, he just started like putting like eyelashes on. And, you can get that shit. Some guards, if you cool with guards, the female guards, they bring in, homosexual inmates, certain things. Cause, these female guards, they look at them as women too. They look at them like they little sister. I heard a female guard say, this my little sister right here. So they're sneaking, bring them in eyelashes and, mascara and shit like that and blush the cheeks and shit like that, makeup. They're giving that type of stuff, right? And slowly but surely, it was no longer than 2 weeks that he was like full blown. You would see him over there looking crazy as hell, man. Crazy as hell. Like, dude, you was just the leader of the Bloods. And now you over here looking crazy. Red lipstick. Got this red dye mop on your head. Like, hey, man, prison is something else. But yeah, y'all, this is basically giving y'all the origin of Coco, right? And how he became Coco. But the next story I tell y'all is when he ended up getting wifed up by, well, that's a whole nother story. But hey, y'all, I'm out. All right, y'all, this prison story is about this dude that got upset because nobody was showing him any love. So what he do, he sit up there and he threw piss and boo-boo all over the Easter spread. All right. But before we get into that story, I need for y'all to do me a favor right quick. It ain't going to cost y'all no money. All right. Chill out. It ain't going to cost y'all nothing. So y'all stop acting tight. All right. All I need for y'all to do, number one, is hit the like button for me. OK. Number two, let me know in the comment section, what is your favorite Easter dinner dish? OK. Now, some people don't celebrate Easter. That's cool. But I know all of y'all celebrate Thanksgiving. So if you don't got a special Easter dish that you want to put in the comment section, let me know your favorite Thanksgiving food dish. All right. Mine will be either honey ham or my wife mama dressing. So put that in the comment section. Y'all let me know. And hype the video if you can. Also, one last thing before we get into this glorious story, right? If you are somebody that just don't watch me for the prison stories, I got you. I've been doing my short horror films. They on my Patreon. I've been doing prison stories over there that I can't put on here. They over there. My Bible stories over there. My supernatural talks, they over there. And for those that care about the Lamarck Moore saga, that is still going on over there on my Patreon. I will have the link pinned at the top of the comment section. Y'all make sure y'all check it out. Also, I'm going to have my big homie JS Corner Prison Talk Show. His link will be pinned at the top of the comment section too. So y'all make sure y'all go over there and go show him some love. All right, let's get to the story. So it's Easter Day, y'all. It's Easter Day. And it fell on a Sunday. Now, that Saturday, everybody in the pot, I mean, everybody had what they needed to bring to the pot, right? So it was like a potluck. I guess we could say a potluck, right? Donta was only responsible for the drinks, okay? It's 20 men in this pod. So I was responsible for the drinks, all the drinks. Donta had cases of Pepsis, cases of Mountain Dews. You know what I'm talking about? Cases of Vernors. I don't know if Vernors is a West Coast, down south thing, but I know up here in Michigan, up here northeast, it's Vernors is a thing. So I had all the drinks, y'all, everything, Mountain Dews, Pepsis, Vernors, Coke, Sprite, all that. So I was in charge of that and the ice, okay? Various of the cats was, they was responsible for all the Doritos because, yeah, it was Easter, but, I mean, we can only work with what we had, right? And this time at this prison, they wasn't giving us no special, how can I put it, special holiday dinners like the other prisons I was in. Some other prisons that I was in, they'd give you that. They'd give you ham, macaroni and cheese, stovetop, greens, cornbread, Kool-Aid. They'll hook you up at macaroni and cheese and some other prisons. But this one, nah, they wasn't giving that nothing at all. So we had to, do what we had to do, right? So you got some cats in charge of making spreads, right? Now, a spread can consist of all type of things. Most likely, if we have to feed everybody up in here, it's going to be like a nacho type of thing. You get the base, which is either the nacho chips or you got the Doritos as a base. And then you get to squeeze it, the squeeze it cheese. You got cheddar cheese, you got jalapeno cheese. A lot of dudes like spicy stuff. Me, I'm not really a spicy dude. So I like mine, regular. But you got the chips at the bottom. You got the squeeze it cheese all over it, right? That's the next layer. Then you get the summer sausage, right? You cut that up like really fine, like hamburger meat, right? And then it's various different ways that you can cook that meat. You can, of course, take your bunk off your bed or whatever, and you just got a metal rack right there. And then you can heat that up at the bottom, and that'll serve as like a frying pan. You know what I'm saying? Like a grill or whatever. And you can just throw it on there, do what you do. You got cats that's working in the kitchen that's bringing bell peppers in, onions, jalapenos. So, yeah, We got that. So you got dudes doing that and all that. Now, let's get into the meat and the potatoes of this story. So you got this dude named Kenny. Now, this ain't the white boy Kenny that I told y'all about that I went to school with, and well, unfortunately, something crazy happened to him. No, this is Black Kenny. Now, Black Kenny is from Detroit, Michigan, that grade 313 on the west side, though. Now, I'm not really familiar with, dudes on the west side of Detroit. It ain't that I got beef with them or anything. It's just, if you from the east side, like I am, then it's like, you typically stay over here on the east side. We got plenty of women. We got plenty of everything that we need on this side. In the west side, it's the same thing. Right. So I never knew Kenny like that. Right. Because, Detroit is big. But anyway, he's from the west side. And I guess he got locked up for unpaid child support. And I think he owed 40, 50,000, whatever. And they'll lock your ass up for that or whatever in Michigan. So anyway, Kenny, he wasn't no threat. He wasn't a dude that, was known to put in work. He was really like a neutral dude. He didn't gangbang. He didn't sell drugs. He wasn't no hitter. He wasn't no homosexual. He wasn't no bully. He wasn't nothing. He was just a dude that was passing his time. But the thing about him, Kenny always was begging. Kenny always was asking for something. And dudes knew that, if Kenny gets something from you, man, don't hold it against him. You ain't getting it back. 'Cause Kenny ain't got no hustle with him. Kenny ain't getting no money sent in on his books. Kenny is just really living off the land. And what living off the land is, you just basically get what the prison give you. Nothing more, nothing less. So that's Kenny. Now, all that morning on Easter, right, we got the dorm turned up. I'm talking about everybody is chef. Sometimes in prison, certain days will come around and I almost feel alright. It almost feel like, you in there, but it's like, it don't feel like prison. Everybody having a good time, the game on, ain't no arguing. We all coming together to eat this spread, to eat this meal, right? But the problem is that everybody contributed, right? Except for Kenny. Now, I know y'all like, yo, Donta, why you didn't, man, listen, let me tell y'all something. This is prison. We all are grown men and responsible. Matter of fact, Kenny was older than me, right? So I don't want to hear y'all saying, well, Donta, you was holding it down in there. Why you were in? Listen, first of all, I ain't the one to put this thing together, right? It was this older Muslim dude named Jafar that put it together. You know what I'm saying? And, it wasn't my place to be like, hey, man, I know y'all probably wonder, like, why you even saying this? Because Kenny wasn't invited. The rules are, if you don't put in, you don't get in. You don't get nothing at all. And some of y'all might say that's cruel, but hey, we are grown men. We ain't children, right? So, hey, like I said, I bought the drinks and the ice. That's what was required for me. And everybody else in there, they bought what they supposed to bought, right? So everybody out there, it's brotherly love up in this motherfucker, right? We kicking it. And for those that, hold up. Because I know a lot of y'all that's watching this might follow me off the Mark Moore content. No, we wasn't kicking it like what Mark was talking about. No, hell no, we wasn't kicking it. Because I know some of y'all was going to talk like, oh, Donta, man, you know what that word kicking it means? No, y'all. We were just kicking it, just chilling. Everybody was cool. Right? But anyway, so, anyway, so he in his room, right? And he ain't coming out. And I know why, because it's like, imagine there's a birthday party going on. And everybody laughing, having fun. Everybody know they about to grub, they about to eat. It's a barbecue going on. But you ain't invited. You can't come because you ain't put in. You couldn't even bring no napkins, no paper plates, no paper cups, no mustard, no nothing, right? Because you ain't got nothing. So he's in the room and, you know, he'll come out every once in a while or whatever. And I got a heart. Donta got a heart, man. So I pulled up on him and I was like, "You all right, Kenny?" You know, he like, "Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm straight. I'm straight, man. I ain't tripping off that shit. I'm about to get on the phone and call my mama, bro." I said, "Okay." So Kenny had a cell phone. I guess his bunkie that left a couple months ago left him his phone or whatever. Me, I would have sold the phone because them phones at them times was going for at least a rack. And for those that don't know what a rack is, it's $1,000. All right. So he like, "Yeah, I'm finna call my mom and call my people, man. I'm good. I'm straight." So I said, "You sure?" He was like, "Yeah, I'm sure." So I said, Here. So I gave him a Mountain Dew. He was like, "What's this for?" I said, "Just go ahead, man. Happy holidays. Hold that down." He was like, "Oh, okay. Thanks, bro." So he leaves, right? Go back to his cell. So one of my homies roll up on me, and he like, what he was talking about, the broke ass nigga. I said, "Oh man, he said he about to go talk to his mama and his folks or whatever." And he was like, "Man, Donta, don't try to sneak and get that nigga nothing, man, because we know how you is." I said, "Man, fall back, man. Anybody got to, I'm a grown man, I ain't got to sneak nothing." He was like, "All right, I'm just saying, man, all right." So he walk off, right? And yeah, a lot of people know me. They know I got a big heart, but, you know, it is what it is. But it wouldn't have been fair because everybody had to put in, and that's just what it was, right? So nevertheless, the food is done, right? Oh, my God. Oh, my goodness. Now, I know y'all looking at the thumbnail, but that minus what is being done in the thumbnail, but it was a beautiful spread, y'all, a beautiful spread. I'm talking about we got 4 boats out there. And for boats is basically, y'all remember back in the day, like in the 90s, when them blue pools came out? Y'all remember those? The little blue pools or whatever? And I think it was like $30 or $40 or something like that. The little joint, they made like 3 inches off the ground or something. But what they would do if the jail would get packed out, what they would do is give you something like that. We call them boats. So it's supposed to be 2 men in the cell, but if it get overpacked, they'll put 3 men in there and you'll just be sleeping in a boat, right? So I got 3 of them out there full of ice. You talking about Pepsis, Mountain Dews, Coca-Cola, Vernors, waters. I'm talking about, I did my part, y'all. The spread is lovely. On the tables, on different tables, you got spicy nachos, jalapeno nachos, unspicy nachos, one with meat, one with no meat on it. You got tacos over here. I'm talking about, you got chips and dip where they got put all the squeezy in it, then they cut up the bell pepper and onion, and now you got your dip right there, chips right there. It's a whole thing. You got cookies, you got cakes over here where you get the honey bun and you get the Reese's Pieces, all that, man. Crush that up. We got 3 cakes over here, everything looking good. Even the guards was like, "Hey man, can we?" Nah, this for us. This for us, right, man? So this is where the bullshit come in at, y'all. So the Muslim guy told y'all, Jafar, he the one put this together. Now, I'm not 100% sure how, Muslims, I don't know if they supposed to, participate in Christian activities. Maybe Easter is a part of the Muslim community. I don't know, y'all. Don't quote me on it. I don't know. But he the one put this together. It was more like a unity thing, more to him, blacks, whites, Mexicans, Bloods, Crips, GDs, all type of dudes, right? So we all just come together under this day right here. So it's time to eat, y'all. Who gonna lead the prayer, right? So Donta lead the prayer. I step up, right? Now, you got 19 dudes. 19 dudes. We are standing around like in a big circle, right? We ain't holding hands or nothing like that. But we all standing around in a big old circle. So I'm like, all right, y'all, bow y'all heads, right? So everybody bow their heads. And I'm like, God, thank you for keeping us all safe. Thank you for, looking out for all of us and, getting us through, for us to see another day on this earth. And, I just ask that you forgive all of us for our sins and forgive all of us for all the wrongdoing that we have done, and forgive us for all the people that we have wronged in this life. It ain't every day that, brothers can come together, whether white, black, Mexican, Chinese, even though it wasn't no Chinese dudes up in there. But, for all of us to come together on this day, to celebrate your resurrection, I ask that you bless this food and take any and everything out of it that will cause any of us any harm. I ask that you put nutrients in here for our bodies to, give us nutrients off of this food. In your name I pray, Lord Jesus, amen. Some people said amen. Some people didn't say nothing, right? So this was the rule, y'all. You got 19 guys in here, plus Kenny upstairs, but he don't count. This was the rule. It looked like it's enough for everybody to get 3 plates. Okay, 3 full plates. So it was like a monitoring system, because you're still dealing with criminals, you're still dealing with convicts, you're still dealing with dudes that's trying to get over, right? So it wasn't just going to be just rush the table and just start grabbing. No. So we had a system. We had these tickets. Y'all remember, like, when you go to the fair or whatever, you go to the fair and they give you like these tickets to get on the rides. That's what we had. So everybody got 3 tickets. And yeah, you got some people selling tickets and, bartering and all of that. So some cats got more tickets than others. But we all know there's supposed to be only 60 tickets up in here. Really 57 tickets, because he didn't count. Kenny didn't count. So 57 tickets. Once the 57 tickets is in that, in the jar, that's it. That's it. So you will get up, get in line, hand a ticket. You might even grab 2 plates or whatever it is, right? And there it go. Well, everybody got 1 plate. So everybody eating, everybody sitting down, watching TV. Some people done ducked off winning they sale, got another plate. It's still a lot of food here. A lot of food. Most cats is on their 3rd plate, and there's so much food. Like, so much, right? So Kenny, at this time, he had a bunkmate, this older white cat, whatever. And I don't know, I guess Kenny asked for something off his plate, whatever, and he didn't give it to him for whatever reason, right? So this is what I noticed. Kenny came out to sell. And I guess he went to Jafar and was like, hey, everybody ate or whatever. You think I can get some? And Jafar was like, no, you didn't put in on this. So no, you can't get nothing, man. Go about your business. So Kenny said, all right, and just walked off. He didn't put up no fight, no argument, no nothing. So I'm like, okay, it really wasn't none of my business, right? I done had, 2 plates already, so I ain't really sure. I just seen that to be able to tell y'all the story that Kenny came out and asked Jafar, can he, get in on the hookup? And Jafar said no. Kenny walked off, nonchalant, no problem, no issue, right? Keep in mind, y'all, there's still a lot of food on the tables, 3 tables, but they close together. 2 minutes will go by. And I hear, since you motherfuckers want to be selfish, since you motherfuckers don't want to look out for me, man, fuck y'all. Fuck all of y'all. When he said that, I don't know what happened first because it happened so fast. Maybe my eyes couldn't comprehend what just happened, but my nostrils figured it out real quick. This man walked up with a big cup full of piss and poop and tossed it all over the spread. All over the spread. I'm like, what the fuck? Everybody like, what the? You mother. Oh, it was about 4 guys that got up and rushed Kenny, beating the brakes off of Kenny, to the point where about 7 or 8 more guys then got up and they trying to. Have y'all ever tried to jump somebody and everybody trying to hit this person, but there's so many people you really can't hit them? That's what they was doing to him. The guard that was in there, hey, y'all stop that. Stop, cut it. Hey, y'all stop that. They wasn't listening. I already knew what time it was, y'all. I knew what time it was. So I just hurried up and grabbed me a couple of sodas. They was mine anyway. I grabbed a couple of sodas and I just went in my room and locked it up because I knew what was going to happen next. And I didn't want no part. Right? So they beating the fuck out of Kenny. They done hit the code. Y'all lock down. Right? So surprisingly, these dudes locked down. But unfortunately for Kenny was knocked the fuck out. They done beat Kenny to sleep. Kenny was knocked the fuck out, y'all. So then, after like 3 minutes, the CERT team came in there, but it really wasn't no use for them because everybody done went to their cell at this point. So then the nurse came in there. They came in with the stretcher. They picked Kenny up, put his ass on that gurney, and got him up out of there. Now, do I feel bad for what happened to Kenny? No. Should he have been allowed to eat? I would say after everybody ate till they full, yeah. Because that was the rule, man. That was the rule. You have to put in to get it. Even if you ain't got nothing to contribute, you know what I'm saying? But you could, that's why I say it's always a way out, man. Because what he could have said, hey, y'all, check this out. I know I ain't got nothing to contribute, but can I do the cleanup? You know what I'm saying? Can I do the cleanup, the aftermath, clean up everything? Can I clean some of you guys' cells, or, you know what I'm saying? He could have did something to put his best foot forward to get something. Because there's always a way that you can get something, even if you ain't got nothing. Just make yourself available. But I guess Kenny didn't want to do that. Kenny decided, okay, if I ain't gonna eat, you niggas ain't gonna eat neither. And well, he did what he did. And well, they did what they did to him. Hey, if you like this type of stories, let me know in the comment section, because I'm thinking, now I done made a Patreon, right? And like I said, I'm gonna have that pinned at the top of the comment section. That's where the prison stories are at that I cannot put on social media. That's where my short horror stories is at, right? All my other content that I can't put on social media here, it's all over there. So y'all make sure y'all go over there and y'all go check it out. All right. And for the people out there that play Call of Duty and Fortnite, my gaming channel will be pinned at the top of the comment section. All right, so y'all make sure y'all check that out. And I'm also still doing promotions. Matter of fact, I'm feeling so good. right now, I'm going to run a special. $50, y'all. $50 per video. If you want me to promote, that's right, y'all. $50. If you want me to promote your social media channel, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, OnlyFans, Instagram, TikTok, whatever it is, get in contact with me. If you got a book coming out and you want that promoted, or you got a brick and mortar, or you somebody to sell food from your house, or you a real estate person, whatever it is, get in contact with me. I'm running the special right now, only for the next week. All right. So it's $50. Get in contact with me. My contact information will be pinned at the top of the comment section too. With that, y'all be safe, and don't be throwing shit and piss on spreads. I'm out. So I'm sitting at the table busting the spread down, and the doors pop, and here goes this white boy. Now this dude had to been maybe 17, 18. And I know some of y'all gonna be like, hold on, Donta, why they didn't send him to a juvenile detention center? Hey, listen, man, in Michigan, they don't give a dang. If you took somebody's life, or you violated a child, or violated a woman, or somebody elderly, them judges don't care what color you is. You are going to the big house. You going in there with Donta, Big Thomas, Big Larry, Sweet Low, Purple Passion. Oh, wait. Maybe I shouldn't have named all them guys, because that kind of made me seem like I was one of them type of dudes. So let's scratch that. Let's scratch all that, y'all. But anyway, if you commit a heinous crime and you a juvenile, they're going to send you to the big house, okay? You in here with the big boys. So when he came in, I instantly zoomed on him like, what this little white boy doing in here? Like I said, y'all, this dude, he was about 5'5", maybe 5'6", nothing but maybe 110. He couldn't even be, he might even be at 105. This dude was like skin and bones, right? So I'm looking, I'm like, what did he do to get in here, right? Now, you got this old black dude named Fox, right? Fox, let me give y'all the backstory of Fox, right? Now, Fox was born like in the early 60s, right? And I guess in like 1973 or 74, when he was 14 years old. And I guess him and his friends went to a fair and they robbed a white man or whatever. They was robbing white men in the 70s or whatever. So they was at this fair and they robbed this white man. And when they robbed him, a black gang, ended up killing another white man or whatever. And they got picked up for the robbery and they put that murder on him, right? So this was the mid 70s. Y'all know there's a lot of racial tensions going on. So they threw the book. They gave him natural life. He never coming home like Eddie Murphy and Martin off of life, right? So Fox been in here. Let's do the math, y'all. Let's do the math. So he got, let's just round it off. We're going to say, let's say he got locked up in 75, right? So there's 25 years that make a year 2000. We in 2020. Damn, 45. Damn, Fox been locked up, give or take, a good 47, 48 years of his life. But anyway, Fox was a homosexual, right? Oh, I forgot. YouTube don't like when you say homosexual. So I guess I got to use a different name. I guess instead of calling him a homosexual, we gonna call him a snooty sexual. All right, that's what we gonna call. We gonna call Fox a snooty sexual, right? So, how Fox got down was, he keep quiet. He kept to himself. He worked the same job for the last 20 years. He'd do maintenance, right? If you needed something fixed, like a radio or TV, he fixed everything. He was a quiet dude. And, he got into little relationships here and there. He wasn't no booty bandit or nothing. He was just an older punk. Well, I can't call him a punk. Okay, it's kind of hard because YouTube don't like you using certain words. But in my opinion, a punk is a guy that played a female role, right? And I guess the so-called man of the relationship, I guess he's just a gay guy. I guess, I don't know. But anyway, that's his whole get down. Go to work, get into random relationships, smoke cigarettes until they took it out. He started smoking K2. Drink a little alcohol here and there, read his Bible. This is life. I always tell y'all, I can't tell another man how to program. And that's how he was doing. So anyway, the little white boy is standing there by the control booth, and he's the only one there. Now, it's a Tuesday, obviously. If y'all been following me, y'all know every Tuesday we get new inmates or whatever. So it's a Tuesday. And like I said, I'm over here busting the spread down. For those that don't know what a spread is, it's a cook-up. For those that don't know what a cook-up is, well, let me tell you my cook-up. I was just making something a little simple. That's all, a little simple. So I had my crushed ramen noodles for the base. I had this pita bread that was on top of that. I had my jalapeno squeezy cheese all on that. And I had my I had chopped up some of sausage and I just put it in a microwave, and there you go. Got me a little pizza. So I'm busting down my spread, right? And I see the white boy, and he looked terrified. I'm talking about terrified. Now, I know that either he's coming in my cell, because I didn't have a cellmate, or he's going into Fox cell, because Fox didn't have a cellmate. It was only 2 cells open in this unit, right? So I'm just sitting there and I'm just looking down while I'm, busting the spread down. Other dudes coming out to see who coming up in here, whatever. Because I told y'all, you don't want to, get caught off guard when somebody come in there that you might be beefing with, or it's an enemy, you know what I'm saying? And then you be in your room sleeping, and he done got word that you in here, you in there knocked out, not paying attention, and you get bust upside your head, right? So everybody come out looking, peeping, and I see Fox. Fox come out, and he just beam right in on dude, right? So the CO came out and gave him a cell assignment, and when he pointed my way, right? So I was like, okay, yeah, he going to my cell. So I instantly get up, right, get my spread, and I take it to the cell, right? So the CO like, hey, Donta, look out for him. So he get in. I said, hey, what's up? What's your name, man? He was like, they call me Lenny. I said, where you from? He was like, I'm from Flint, Michigan. I said, what? You from Flint? He was like, yeah, I'm from the north side. I said, hey, man, get out of here. You ain't from the north side. I'll be on the north side. He was like, you do? I was like, yeah. I was like, what part of the north side? He was like, it's like Pearson and Clio, that neighborhood over there. I said, where the dirt roads is that? He was like, yeah, over there. I said, okay, yeah, I used to stay out there. And he was like, oh, okay. Now, I don't know nobody out there in that neighborhood, but I did stay on the north side, but towards North Saginaw Street when I was younger. That's just for y'all that from Flint, Michigan that want to know, like, Donta, what part of the north side you stayed on? I stayed off of Saginaw and Edmond, right, when I was there. But anyway, so I'm like, all right, bet. You a fellow Flintstone, right? So I said, what you do to get in here? And he was like, I don't really want to talk about it. Now listen, y'all, it's only 1 or 2 reasons why somebody don't want to discuss what they did to get in here. One is because you did the unthinkable with a child or a woman, right? And y'all done watched all my stories this far to know what the unthinkable is. Or you done did something, some street shit, and somebody done lost their life on accident or something, and you just feel remorseful. You feel, you regret it. You don't really want to talk about it because you feel bad. It's one of the two, right? So me looking at him and me eyeballing him and judging him and measuring him, I'm thinking the worst. I'm thinking he done did something to a child. So I stand up, right? And at this time, y'all, Donta was about 6'1". I was probably pushing a good 240, maxed out, right? So I'm pretty much of a big guy. And hold on, I know I said this before in another video, and it was some busters in the comment section talking about, man, you wasn't that big and this and that, and I would do this and do. Let me tell y'all something. That shit might sound good when y'all say you wouldn't have did this and you wouldn't have did that to me. Like I said, that shit might sound good. Y'all might even look good saying what I wouldn't and what I would do. But I guarantee you, if I walked in your cell with a laundry bag in them days, and I told you to fill it up, it would have just been yes, sir. That's just what it is. Despite what y'all may think now, yes, I done got older. Yeah, I done got fat. Well, I'm not fat, but I'm out of shape. But I'm back hitting the gym. But I guarantee you, back in them days, I would have maxed out on y'all for real. But anyway, so I bounce up, and I'm like, hey, listen, I need to know what you did. Because if you went here on some funny business, not only I'm going to beat your ass, but I might kill you. So you need to tell me right now, I'm giving you a chance to get out this cell, right? He was like, man, I'll just go. I'll just roll it up. I'll say good. So he grabbed all these things and he just walked out. He went to the control booth, right? So I'm looking at him like an eagle, right? I'm looking over the tier like an eagle, watching him talk to the CO. So they let him in the control booth, right? And then like 2 minutes later, the CO came out and came right to my cell. He like, Donta, listen, man, this dude, he touched his little sister, but she retracted the statement, but they prosecuted him anyway. I said, okay, what the fuck that got to do with me? Oh, I'm sorry, y'all, cuss. I'm supposed to stop cussing. Sorry, y'all. I said, what the F that got to do with me? And he was like, well, we felt like, you the shot caller up in here, and we wanted to put him in the room with you so nobody would do anything to him. I said, look here, man. I'm not protecting nobody that got bad charges, despite whether he did it or not. What that look like, man? Me in here selling up with a dude that, man, hell no, man. That shit out, man. Go put that nigga in Fox cell. So he was like, well, that's the thing. We are putting him in there, but you know how Fox is, man. I said, listen, man, I ain't got nothing to do with that. He can't be in here, respectfully, right? He was like, you sure? I said, listen. So at this time, y'all, I'm standing in my cell and the CO is right outside the door, right? So I pulled up on him close and I'm like, I'm not going to say this shit again. Get the fuck away from my cell. That nigga ain't coming up in here. So he was like, that's what you on? I said, that's exactly what I'm on. Right? So he just walked off. Now, I know some of y'all gonna be like, Donta, you ain't buck on the CO like that. Again, y'all, this was back in 2000 and, 2026? I was locked up in the years of 2010 on up. So this had to been like 2013, maybe 14. And back then, y'all, I was, see, I'm humble now. I done learned my lesson, right? So I'm not that aggressive, violent guy that I used to be. Now, don't get me wrong. Just because I ain't did nothing in years, that don't mean I done forgot. I can bounce back real quick into that lifestyle. You can believe that. But anyway, so the CO just walked off, right? So then he go down the stairs, whatever. And, he escort him to Fox cell. So I'm like, all right, I ain't got to deal with it, right? So then one of my homeboys roll up on me like, hey, what was that all about? Now, I could have told him, they trying to put this white boy on my cell that got bad charges, but I ain't feel like dealing with all the drama. I ain't feel like pressing the line because I didn't really care. I just made this spread. I'm trying to eat. I ain't trying to have no issues, but I know damn well this boy ain't coming to my cell because of what he did, whether he did it or not. He ain't here. Most people say they innocent. Yeah, all right. So I'm like, no, ain't nothing, man. It's straight. Just leave it alone, right? So my homeboy dipped off, right? So he in the cell with Fox. Now, I can't tell y'all what was said. I don't know they initial interaction or anything. I don't know. So for that first 2 days, I can't tell y'all what happened because I wasn't even paying attention. But this is where it get crazy. Now, you see patterns. When you locked up with dudes for months, for years, you see their habits, you see their patterns, right? And I seen it. So we in the chow hall, me and my homeboys over here at the table, and we see the white boy coming there, and Fox is right behind him. And, it looked normal to the untrained eye. But somebody like me and others that been locked down for a very long time, we see the game. Now, again, y'all, I don't know if Fox put down on him already, like told him like, hey, I want to be with you. We going to be together or whatever. And I'm the man, you the woman. I don't know. Have that conversation took place. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. But I see the grooming process, where he always standing behind him. He always telling other people to be nice to him, look out for him or whatever when they in the chow hall or whatever. When they walk in the yard together, he's like right by him. He throwing like this jealousy attitude whenever somebody else come around trying to highlight. Cause there was other dudes that were trying to get up on little white boy or whatever, but Fox was always there. So that didn't really go nowhere. So I know it sounds like I'm dragging this story, but it's the reason why I'm doing this because there was a lot that I didn't see. Now I heard allegations here and there about them, messing around in the cell or whatever, but I never heard it and I didn't see it until now. I did walk in on something, which we about to get to in a minute. I'm just giving y'all the build up, giving y'all the suspense, right? So one day I'm getting out the shower. Now on Saturday it's open rec. Open rec is from like 11 a.m. to like 8 at night, right? So on Saturdays you can be out on the yard all day, in and out, right? So normally, what I do, I go hit the weight pile maybe like 10:30 a.m. and I'll be on the weight pile to maybe about 11:15-ish, right? And then I go hit the shower. So I just get done doing my reps and sit-ups and all that, and I'm sweating, I'm hot, I'm about to cool off. This about to be a chill day. So I end up going back in, going to my cell, getting everything together to go get in the shower, right? There's nobody in here at all. Nobody on the block. It's just me and this CO, right? So I get my things or whatever. I go hit the shower. Keep in mind, y'all, Fox cell is at the end of he's on the second tier where I'm at, but we on the opposite side, if that makes sense. Like, he's across from me, but on the other side or whatever. So I get out the shower or whatever, and I head upstairs to get in my cell or whatever. And when you see something out of the corner of your eye, but you don't really know what you done seen because it happened so fast? That's what happened. I seen somebody, or I thought I seen somebody, like carry up and duck off in the cell, right? So I'm like, okay, I mean, that's across the hall. Ain't none of my business, none of my concern, right? So I get in there, I put my clothes on, right? And something told me like, nah, man, something ain't right. You ever got this eerie feeling that something ain't right, whatever? So I get dressed, I go down the stairs, go on the other side and go up the stairs, right? I'm creeping down the tier, on the second tier, but down the hallway towards Fox and this white dude's cell, right? So I'm creeping, and then I hear it. Be warned what I'm about to say next, y'all. I hear the white boy saying, but it's my turn now. It's my turn. Why I can't do it? So I'm like, what? This is what he's saying to Fox. And Fox like, man, look, I already told you, man. I told you how this shit gonna be, man. I ain't no punk. Right? So I said, what? What the I just turned away and walked off. Y'all let me know what y'all think they was talking about.
So we on the transport bus, and I'm sitting in the rear to the left side, and it's this black dude sitting next to me. Across from us, like on the right side of us, it's the white dude and my homeboy Al. I mean, it's a full house on here, right? So I hear the white boy like, GDK this, GDK that, right? He's talking to Al. Now, before we go on with this story, let me give a disclaimer. I am not a gang member. I'm not a Blood. I'm not a Crip. I'm not a Vice Lord. I'm not a Gangster Disciple. I'm not Peace Stone. I'm not nothing. I'm not affiliated with no organization. I'm not affiliated with no gang. Yes, I do have a whole lot of Crip homeboys. And yes, I did say that if I had no choice back in the day, more than likely I probably would have been a Crip. And just that's only because the neighborhood that I was in and other reasons. But for the sake of this video and a disclaimer, Donta is not a gang member. So with that being said, so I'm hearing this dude saying GDK, and I'm like, why is he saying that? Now, I'm not from Chicago, and I believe that, and I could be wrong, y'all let me know in the comment section, but I believe that the Gangster Disciple Nation stuff started in Chicago. I'm not 100% sure about that. I think it is, but I'm not sure. But y'all would let me know in the comments section. So I keep hearing GDK this, GDK that. And this is the white boy saying it to my homeboy Al. Al ain't a gang member neither. So I hear this and I hear it in my ear. So I know what I heard, right? So, but I don't know the exact conversation what he was telling Al, but I know I heard that come out of his mouth like 10 times on this bus ride. So we pull up to the joint and we all getting off the bus, and you know we got to go through that whole humiliation treatment. They strip us naked, put us in a holding tank, throw this powder, I guess this lice powder, so you know if you got crabs or something, they throw that powder on you, whatever y'all get in the shower or whatever. And for the new inmates that's coming in, they go to classification. For the other guys like myself, we get put in this holding tank to go back to our unit or whatever, right? So I asked Al, like, hey man, what that white boy was talking about when he kept saying GDK? What is that? He was like, I don't know, man. I think it's I mean the way he was talking, I think he like beefed out with the Gangster Disciples or something. I was like, oh, I said, wait a minute. So, like, is he in a gang or something? He was like, well, shit, he kept saying GDK, so I guess he just beefing with the Gangster Disciples. So I said, huh, that's odd. Now, I've been to Chicago a couple times. I got a couple of cousins down there on the south side, and it's confusing me. It's confusing because I got a couple cousins that are Gangster Disciples, a couple of cousins that are Vice Lords, and I got a few that is GDK, because I know I heard that from somewhere, and it dawned on me like,
wait a minute, gangster disciple, GDK mean gangster disciple killer, right? But at the same time, it's confusing because when I was in Chicago, there was guys that was saying it was GDK, but around regular gangster disciples, but then they would say, well, we beefing with these type of guys, these gangster disciples. I don't know, it's confusing. Hey, anybody from Chicago that may be listening, can y'all please explain that to me? Because I'm really confused. I thought GDK means, now that I know now, because I've been schooled that GDK means gangster disciple killer, but you can be friends or homeboys with GDK members even if you are a gangster disciple. It just depends on who you going at, I guess. I don't know. I thought that just meant you disrespecting the whole nation. But I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Like I said, I'm not a gang member. I don't know. So anyway, let's get back to the story. So I'm like, okay, so we get back in the unit. Now, I had these two homeboys. They was brothers. It was Rodney and Ronell. They was twins from Chicago, right? And they were gangster disciples, right? They was that. And I pulled up on them. I was like, hey, what do GDK mean? And prior to that, we would just have a small talk, and I just asked them, but they both got quiet, and they had like this serious look on their face. And I was like, what's up? They was like, one of the brothers was like, oh, where you hear that from? I was like, shit, I heard this white boy say. He was like, white boy? What white boy? I was saying, shit, when we was over there on the transport, he was, talking to Al, talking about GDK this, GDK that. And I was like, what white boy? I was like, shit, I don't know. The nigga, he's somewhere around here, I don't know. It was like, tell me exactly what he said. Like, exactly. I said, well, I didn't hear exactly what he said. I just know I heard GDK. And he was like, and you sure a white boy said this? I was like, yeah, I mean, what's the problem? He was like, man, Donta, GDK mean gangster disciple killer. That's our enemy. I said, oh. He was like, yeah. So when you see that motherfucker, let me know. Let me know. I said, all right, I'll let you know. Now, I know some of y'all might be thinking like, yo, Donta, ain't this snitching? Let me tell y'all something. I have no allegiance, no loyalty to nobody but myself and my homeboys. Okay? If there's a guy in here that's representing something that goes against my homeboys that's in here, and I don't tell them to put them on game, and a sneak attack happened where this dude might try to cause great bodily injury, harm to one of my homies in here, nah, that ain't happening. That's out. I'm letting them know, right? And some of y'all might say, well, Donta, this gang business, you shouldn't listen. Before the gang shit, these is my homeboys. Rodney and Ronell, these was my dogs, right? So I value their life. So I was going to let them know. Now, a couple days will go by, and it wasn't ain't nothing really was going on. I mean, you got the occasional fights, occasional arguments over food and shit like that, but nothing really crazy popped off that's out of the ordinary, right? So the white dude come in. Now, I kind of done forgot about him already because I'm doing my own thing, right? So he come in there, and he's talking to Rodney and Ronell, my homeboys. He talking to them. But it's not dawning on me like this is the same white boy. Because like I said, I really want to looking at him and shit. You know what I'm saying? But he's talking to them. And I guess he's telling them that he's GD. Right? So I'm like, oh, okay. So I walk over there, see what's going on. And it didn't hit me yet. It did not hit me yet. Like, this was the guy that was talking to Al about GDK and all this and that. So I'm like, okay. They like, hey, what's up, Donta? I'm like, what's up, y'all? They're like, this, one of our comrades or whatever from the streets or whatever. I'm like, oh, okay, what up? Blah, 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 right? So it's all good.
So we go hit the yard, right? And I'm over there talking to Al. We about to get on the weight pile or whatever. And Al like, hey, ain't this the white boy that was saying the GDK shit? And I look, I said, who? He was like, right there with Rodney Ronell. I said, that's him? He was like, yeah, that's him. That's the guy that was sitting next to me. I said, hold up. He was saying, he was talking about he cool with them. I said, wait, what was he saying, Al? What exactly was he saying? He was like, he GDK and, you know, he killed GDs. He you know, that's their enemy. So I said, what? He was like, yeah, so why is he over there talking to them like they good? I said, I don't think they know. So I said, hold on, let me go talk to him. I'm gonna talk to him because Al was ready to go over there and put him on blast, right? So I'm like, no, hold on, maybe it was a mistake. Al was like, no, man, dude was really talking greasy, like talking greasier. I said, let me just go holler at him, right? So he like, all right. So I get up and I bounce over there. I'm like, hey, let me holler at you right quick, man. He like, okay, what's up? So we got to walk in the track. Now, I'm not saying nothing to him. And he like, what's up, man? I said, the other day on the transport, you were talking to my homeboy. What was that conversation about? It was like, shit, nothing. I was just, you know, letting him know where I was from, you know, what's up? I said, that was it? It was like, yeah. I said, you GDK? And he stopped. He stopped dead in his tracks. He was like, who told you that? I said, it don't matter who told me that. It's you GDK. He was like, yeah, but I don't claim that shit no more. I don't claim that no more. I said, you know, my homeboys, Rodney Ronell, they gangster disciples, and from my understanding, GDK being, you know, gangster disciple killer. He was like, yeah, but I'm not that no more. I'm not that no more. I said, okay, when did you stop being that? Because from my understanding, my homie was telling me that that's what y'all were talking about on the bus. He was like, man, I've been not being that, but man, let's leave that shit alone, man. Leave that shit alone. I said, hell no, I'm not leaving alone, man. I said, matter of fact, we finna go over there and go holler at them right now. He was like, man, hey, listen, don't do that, bro. Don't do that. I said, what you mean don't do that? He was like, listen, I don't know if you know about gang politics and shit like that, but man, I can get killed in here. I said, listen, man, you did this. You caused that, man. He was like, no, but listen, man, hey, I'll look out for you. I said, what you mean, look out for me? He was like, man, listen, I'm about to start getting weed up here. I said, man, I don't smoke. He was like, all right, well, we'll sell it then. I don't care, man. Just don't put me on blast. I said, how much commissary you getting? He was like, shit, I'm getting by. Why? What's up? You need that? I said, yeah, I'm gonna give you a store list. I'm gonna give you a store list, and I'm gonna need that. He was like, I bet. All right, bet. We good. I said, yeah, we good. Right. So I know what y'all thinking. Y'all like, man, Dante, so you gonna sell out your homies for a bag of chips? You gonna sell your homie out for, you know, a box of Star Crunches and oatmeal pies and Doritos and summer sausages? We'll get to that in a minute. So 2 days would go by, right? And it's stow day. Well, you got to put in your slip to get your for stow day the next day, right? So I already go over there and I already got everything that I need from him, whatever. And I put in my order for him, and that was that. Now, besides, like I said, the regular fights, the bullshit just going on or whatever, nothing really eventful took place. So stow day hit, right? And I pull up on him and say, you got that? He said, yeah, I got you. I got you. I'm about to go down there right now. So he get up, he go down there with his slip or whatever. Go down there, he come back.
Hey Dante, I got you, bro. I got you, bro. Come here, come to my cell. So I go to his cell, right? He break me off. He was like, yeah, good looking out, bro, man. But for real, man, I'm not that no more. I'm not. I said, all right, you got it. You got it. I go back to my cell. I put everything up, right? Now, for the next 3 days, he would be just going out his way, being extra friendly, extra nice to me. Now, when we had this conversation a couple days back on the yard, he was like cozying up to me, like, you know what I'm saying? Like just trying to be but I know what it was. He was just trying to stay close to me so I wouldn't say nothing to Rodney and Ronell about what he really is. But after this, he really was up under me. Like really. Like everywhere I was, hey, what's up, D? Well, what's up, D Tay? And all this and that, right? Like, you know, like we friends. I guess he trying to really solidify, you know what I'm saying, of us, for me not to say nothing, right? So he on a visit, and I'm sitting there on the bunk, and I'm thinking to myself, like, you know what? Nah, he gonna have to stand on that. Yeah, he gonna have to stand on that. So I go to Rodney. Ronell wasn't there. He was on a visit. I go to Rodney. I say, hey, Rodney, I need to holler at you. He's like, what's up? I said, you know the white boy? He like, yeah. I said, look, he is GDK. He said, what? I said, yeah, hold on, man. I said, yeah, he is GDK. He done gave me a bag, you know, to be quiet or whatever. And yeah, he was talking to Al about that on the bus, and Al vouched and said that it was him. And when I approached him on the yard, you remember the other day we was on the yard and y'all was talking and he came and started walking with me? Yeah, I was talking to him about it. He was talking about he was GDK, but he ain't no more. And he was like, so when did he supposedly stop being GDK? I was like, apparently when he ran into y'all, I guess. He was like, no, hell no, man. This dude, no, hell no. This dude about to get X'd out. I'm about to X this dude out. Right? I said, well, I mean, yeah, but that's what he said. He's talking about he ain't GDK no more. He was like, you know what? We did a background check on him, but we need to start doing more extensive background checks on these dudes, man. Because, yeah, we found out that, yeah, he's from the west side or whatever, but, you know, and people said that he was GD, but that's all they can really say. But, you know, the information we got back on was not even really that credible. But, I mean, you know, but I'm going to take care of it. I said, all right. So then I peeled off. Again, y'all. I know some of y'all in the comment section gonna be like, oh, Dante, that's wrong, man. Why you take his commissary if you was gonna rat him out? Let me tell y'all something. There's no honor amongst thieves. I know y'all all heard that, but y'all already gotta understand something. In prison, it's a dog-eat-dog world. You got people that might be saying, well, Dante, you gave him your word. I didn't give him my word. And even if I did give him my word, okay, and so what? See, y'all got this misconception that, oh, I only got my word in prison. My word is everything. Your word. Your word. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God. I bet you lied on that stand. See, these dudes like to pick and choose what make them honorable and what make them real. Got this so-called honor code. If you were such a real dude and such a honorable guy, you wouldn't be in prison. That might just went over y'all head. Let me say that again. If you were such as this honorable dude and strict moral code and honor code, you wouldn't be in prison. So I don't want to hear nothing about,
oh, I got morals and principles. What was the morals and principles before your butt got locked up? Huh? What was the morals and principles at before you got locked up? I just want to know. And then I know some of you cats, some of you weirdos gonna be like, well, Donta, that ain't no real nigga shit, right? But what's a real nigga? Oh, because I didn't sell drugs? Because I never killed nobody? That makes me not a real nigga? If that's the qualifications of being a real nigga, then I don't want to be a real nigga. What the qualifications is because I sold a lot of drugs. You sold a lot of drugs, destroying your community. You done killed innocent people. Huh? You done took a son from his father, right? A son from his mother. You done caused all this pain through the communities with your drugs and killing people. That what makes you real. I got you. And you know what's funny about like the gang? A lot of these dudes that go to prison, right, that be in these gangs, and I'm only speaking on the black gangs, cause this is what I seen. You would get a cat that'll put in work for the gang, right? He go to jail. The homies, they'll look out for him here and there for maybe a week or two. And then it's, oh, bro, it's messed up out here. I got my own problems. I got my own financials, right? It's hard out here. Then you find out that two of these guys keep going to your baby mama house, right? Oh, I'm just checking on sis. I'm just making sure sis all right, right? But that rent ain't getting paid. So one of them dudes, you know what I'm saying, telling her like, listen, he ain't never coming home. And I know you need these bills paid. So look, let's sleep with me. Sleep with me. Let's do it. Let's have sex. Right? Yeah. And you hearing about it. But you know what the coldest part is? Now I done seen some white boys and some Mexicans, right? When they people come in there, they hit them off with a care package. There you go. Here goes some food. Here goes some hygiene. Get them right until they able to produce or, you know what I'm saying, get money on their books to, you know, to do their thing. But the black gangs, oh, you can forget it. They'll put a knife in your hand and have you tell you to go put some work in. Right? All right, that's a whole nother topic and conversation. But anyway, so let's get back to the story. Oh, and if y'all ain't hit the like button, man, y'all hit that like button, hit the hype button, and share this video. Also, my Patreon, y'all, I started my Patreon. Now, over there on the Patreon, that's what I'm telling the stories that I can't put on YouTube, right? Over there is my short horror films. Over there is my Bible talks, my supernatural stories. The Lamarck Moore saga is over there. So y'all make sure y'all subscribe to my Patreon, all right? And also, I started my gaming channel for all my gamers out there. I'm going to have my gaming channel pinned at the top of the comment section, too. Let's get back to it. So, one last thing, y'all. I'm sorry. One last thing. I'm still doing $50 promotions. So get in contact with me if you need your business or social media channel promoted. All right, now let's get back. So the white boy come from his visit, right? And what I was told is when he came back, Rodnell and Rodney. Now, I should have never even said their names, but I mean, they already got charged for this anyway. They already got charged for it, so I guess it don't matter. They can't get recharged. But they was on the weight pile, right? So you got the white boy laying on his back, doing the, pushing up on the iron bar or whatever. Now they got this pull-up bar over here right by the weight pile. So you got Rodney over here doing the pull-ups, the white boy next in line, and Ronell right here, right in front of his brother. It's the white boy turn now. They give him a boost to get up there because the white boy ain't nothing but maybe about 5'8", 5'9", something like that. So he get up there, right? They give him a boost to get up on the he doing a pull up. They grab him. It's like his 10th pull up. They grab him. Choke him out. Like they grab him, choke him out. Rodney pulls out a knife. And he's like, since you want to be GDK, you gonna be GDK. He pulled out a knife and he carved GDK on this dude's forehead. Y'all know how like Crip Mac got Hoover Killer on his forehead? They put GDK on this dude's forehead. That way, wherever he go, people gonna know. This is why I tell y'all can't be out here faking the funk. Because some dudes don't play about that. I know the internet give a lot of people grounds to play games with cats and be who they want to be and do what they want to do on the internet. But sometimes the internet can transfer to real life. And when that happens and you go to prison or the county and there's cats in there that's really about that, and especially when you put in a setup called Gangster Disciple Killer, whether you was that or not that. See, a lot of these dudes join these organizations because the shit sound good. It sound cool. GDK Killer. Until you in a bullpen with some GDs, right? Or or other gangs like Blood Killer, Crip Killer, right? Vice Lord Killer. Until you in there with these guys. Now it's, oh no, I ain't that no more. Or no, I was just playing. Or man, I ain't really that. No. You that. Wear that. And where for the white boy, he had to wear that. How the heck we gonna go 50-50 if you gonna quit your job?
Ah, shit. Here we go again.
Let me tell these people how you trying to make me pay all these bills and just throw these kids at me like.
First of all, I work every day on my feet while you stay at home watching these kids. It's no time for you to start feeling how I feel.
But tell them,
get on your feet.
Tell them,
I can stay home with the kids.
Tell them how you got fired though. How did you get fired?
Because I was, you know what? You trying to question me.
You don't know how you got fired. This crazy.
I got fired because I told my boss I didn't want to work there no more.
Yeah,
I got him an attitude.
This is why.
I gave him an attitude. I told him I'm quitting.
This is why you never get a crib
you question
in your chick name.
What?
This is why. This is the real reason why you never get a crib in your chick name, bro.
It don't matter why.
Because they would do stuff like this. Get fired on purpose. Like she got me. I'm finna pay all. I'm finna pay all these bills and then take care. And then take care of your.
It's time for you to pay these bills.
Hold on, let me talk. Let me finish. And then take care of your kids. Like they already bad. Look what they doing.
It's supposed to be the other way around.
These kids are bad, bro. They bad. Like I can't do this. I can't do this no more.
Okay, then get up and get you a job.
You're gonna have to do something.
I can deal with my own.
You're gonna have to do something.
And go find you a job.
It doesn't matter. I'm not taking care of your kids.
You don't have to take care of my kids.
What you mean? If I'm paying the bills, you not working, you don't have a job. Who else gonna take care of the kids? Make it make sense.
I'm gonna take care of the kids.
Man, bro. Matter of fact, I'm fed up. I'm finna go ahead and pack my stuff. I'm finna go. I'm finna leave. You gonna have to deal with all these bills. You wanna get fired on purpose? You want me to take care of you and your kids? What?
How you take care of me and I'm working?
You trying to live a dream life?
How are you taking
Stop
care
playing
of
with me, man. Man, I'm finna pack all my stuff, bro. Bro, I'm finna pack all my stuff, bro.
Stay at home, Dad, while I work hard.
I'm finna pack all my stuff and you can handle all these bills. You can handle all these bills.
No, okay, now Will.
Go ahead, tell your friends that. Why you trying to fake a lifestyle? You trying to fake a lifestyle to your friends. But you're not really living like that. I'm finna go. I'm finna pack all my stuff and you finna have y'all. These bills is $2,000, like $2,200 a month, and she expect me to pay all this. Come on, man. Come on now. I don't even have my own kid. My own kid not even living here. Why would I take care of your kids and take care of you and pay the bills? Like, come on now. Come on now. They bad. Come on, man. These kids are bad. Look at them. They bad, bro.
Now they bad, but you decided to
stay
home and deal with them while I work.
Man, how about this? How about this? How about this? I'm finna get my stuff and leave. I'm not finna argue with you. I just want to show these people how you really is. You faking the lifestyle. You faking the lifestyle to your friends. And I'm about to show them all this, man, because you a capped out woman.
You kept out.
Man, get my
stuff.
You
not even a real man.
Get my stuff out the closet,
bro. Your woman pay all the bills.
Get my stuff out the closet, bro.
Bye.
Get my stuff out the closet.
You should have.
Get my stuff out the closet. This is where her plan goes wrong, y'all. This is where her plan goes wrong. Everything failed. She basically got fired from her job on purpose, and literally tried to get me to pay all the bills and then take care of her kids. They're not even my kids. Like I just told y'all, my own kid not even living here. Why would I sit here and do that? Come on, man. My mother will look at me like, what? Son, what are you doing? Like, come on, man. Come on now. And then on top of that, my mother, like, she won't even allow me to do that. Like, come on now. Come on now. These ain't my kids. These ain't my kids. These ain't my kids.
You can go be with your
These ain't my kids. My daddy ain't grow up like this, man. These ain't my kids. These ain't my kids, bro. Take care of your kids and pack my stuff up, please. Y'all see this? Y'all see this? Y'all see this? Y'all see this? This is crazy. Pack my stuff up, though. Pack my stuff up. You heard what I said. You ain't gonna pack it up?
All right.
What one man won't do for a woman, another man will. Now, before y'all say, Donta, oh, don't start simping, I'm going to tell y'all just like this. He knew that this chick had kids. So he got into a relationship with her knowing that she had kids. Second of all, let me take the glasses off so y'all can see me better. Second of all, this woman had a job and she decided to quit so Dugg could take care of her. She was dead wrong. But on the other end, this dude moved in with her. He moved in with her. So now, 9 times out of 10, he got to go move back in with his mama. Now, before I go in on both of them, because both of them is in trouble with Donta. Now, the girl, she dead wrong. Because this dude could leave her at any time like he said that he's going to do. Right? So then she going to be, how can I say, assed out. Second, when you got kids and you got multiple baby daddies, which I'm assuming she does, if they not stepping up and being in a child's life and being there financially and physically, you got to step up and do what you got to do. Her quitting the job was a bad move, real bad move. And that's all I got to say about her. As far as the dude go, man up, man up. You supposed to be able to hold it down. I don't get that nowadays. I just don't understand that, how people say, let's go 50-50. I guess I come from the old school that the man's supposed to be able to take care of everything. And when I say everything, I mean everything. The woman the woman money is supposed to be a bonus. You know what I mean? The man's supposed to take care of the rent or the mortgage, the consumer energy, the internet, the phone bills, the car insurance, the car note, all that. That's what a man's supposed to do. And a woman's supposed to take care like the grocery shopping and, you know, if we go out to eat or we go out to the movies, stuff like that. Now, dude just need to step his game up. And I already know that some of you cats out there gonna be like, oh, there go Donta simping again. He's simping again. No, I'm not simping. I just think that dude basically played himself. He got into this relationship. This girl was working. She decided that she didn't want to work no more. And now he just feel like, well, I don't want to be with you no more. So what is it really about? He can't hold it down by himself. And I'm not saying that, well, no, I am saying that. In closing, I'm just going to say this. If you can't take care of her, you don't need to be with her. If you can't hold it down by yourself, then you don't need to be in a relationship with nobody. Make sure you can take care of you first before you get into a relationship with somebody. And that's really the bottom line to this whole thing right here. Fellas, get your own. Get your own house, get your own apartment. So that way a chick can't kick you out. That way when she in your house, is your house, okay? She'll have to go, not you going back to your mama house. Make sure y'all email me if y'all want me to promote your business, your products, or your social media channels. It don't matter if it's TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram. I'm going to have my email pinned in the comment section. I charge $100 per video. If nobody told y'all that they love you today, Donta love y'all. And with that, y'all, I'm out.
Ah, shit. Here we go again.